bad. I'm not going to lie, but it's not as bad as some of the things I've seen. Let's check out this Black mega church, what they did in the Easter production a few years ago.
Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Just to die young. Let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Nah, nah, nah,
Man, it's a concert. How much was the ticket?
stop the track. Let me stay back.
They just
Give me a minute and I'll be right back.
I'll type a little bit. It's not 10%. I'm too broke for that, but I'm getting 2%. See, this is live.
Jimmy out. I'm getting to the money. Everybody back. I think I'm getting too much money. Everybody back.
We were saying, Dragon, this is what you need to do. Step one, find you a baddie. Okay. But step two, she gotta have
Oh
a
my
baddie.
fucking goodness.
Can they rent those girls from Bad Girls Club? Somebody call Natalie Nunn. We got our girls on stage at a church.
Girl, we keep telling you it's okay.
Your little booty
I
man.
seen these hoes at the gas station an hour ago.
They don't be discriminating.
This is demonic.
I just have to say, I love Beyonce, but as a follower of Christ, there are multiple things about her music that is the definition of demonic. Just putting it out there for those of you that haven't been at church. Ratchet, I'm assuming you go to church on the weekly like me. Would you attend a church that played that? Why should we or shouldn't we attend a church that plays that?
So I know exactly the church that is, and sometimes I've listened to the pastor's preaching, and honestly, that particular pastor is Pastor Mike Todd. When I was a single woman trying to, really just be serious about my relationship with Jesus and giving my life to Jesus, it was actually his teachings on fornication that helped me to stop having sex outside of marriage before I got married. So I will give a pastor their flowers when they need it. I do feel like somewhere along he started right, and then somewhere along the way he lost his way. But there was a time where his blessings his teachings did bless me. They really helped me to get closer to God. But with that whole production, I feel like the money could have better been spent elsewhere, and it was really blasphemous. It did kind of get dark and demonic, and it's just not appropriate. I feel like if it was like a theater show, something separate from the church, something that they did on their own time and not in the sanctuary and didn't spend church money on it, and it was just separate, then maybe it would be okay. But to do that in God's house on a holy day for Easter in the congregation, it was inappropriate. But I pray for that pastor because he started right. I don't know what happened.
Andre, are you familiar with Mike Todd?
Name rings a bell. Enlighten me.
Allegedly, there's rumors that that he's kind of like on the down low. Allegedly.
Oh, he's gay. He's a fucking faggot. That's what he is.
Allegedly. So my question to you is, do you think that possibly the leaders of the church, I'm not going to say him in particular, have outside sin and their judgment, their discernment is clouded, and that's why they allowed that? What do you think about the direction of the church today and seeing something like that?
I mean, when we look at a lot of the Protestants, I mean, it's, and mind you, I'm not a Catholic, by the way. I'm not really into Catholicism or anything like that. But for a lot of these Protestants, especially in the Black community, these niggas are gay. These niggas are whores. They're all over the place. I mean, if you're going to do what you do, just be honest with it. Don't sit here and bullshit and try to put, I'm the holiest of holy, and you out there fucking all the time and you taking in the ass. I mean, come on now. Don't pretend. Be real. Be honest with it. Say what you are, and people will present you. And I think God will understand that and accept that as well. But the moment you start playing this game, I'm a good nigga. Okay. All right. Let's check that browser history And let's go through their phone. All this nigga named Dylan. Yeah, how many Dylans you had this week, Mr. Pastor Deacon? So, I don't know what the story is with him, but if he's on the down low, he's on the down low. And typically it's like Tyler Perry. They got beards. It's always that. They got a wife. They got a woman. You know what I'm talking about? The Tyler Perry shit. Oh, he got a girl, and he out here fucking Brad and shit on the side. He's sitting there posing with Jenny and Jessica, but Brad taking it after the fact. Some trapped in the closet shit going on. Some shit going on. So that's my view on it. That's.
Well, he's not the only one that has done blasphemous things. Let's watch America's first pastor, Paula White, Trump's pastor.
And strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. For I hear
somebody's
victory,
in the BDSM.
victory, victory in the corridors of heaven. In the corridors of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata. For angels are being dispatched from Africa right now.
When they talk about legions and demons entering humans, this is how I feel like they sound. She has been possessed by legion.
This is some Pentecostal shit right here.
They're coming here from Africa, from South America. Angelic forces, angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement, angelic reinforcement.
She sound like the pastor from what was it, Coming to America?
I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory.
And who the fuck is the dude walking on the stage?
I hear the sound of victory.
That's her son.
I hear the sound of victory.
They got buckets and shit and bottles. What the fuck is going on the stage?
Let me tell you this. I actually was a member of a church that her ex-members came from, and they said when she started aligning with Trump, the church started to change. She started to whiten the church. I can tell you that from experience. She removed the gospel choir. She had her husband doing the service. It was very odd because me and Gray went to a few of her services. Gray will tell you, but nevertheless, over the years, like she just got more and more money hungry, like the 10%, the 20%, you got a blessing, God will bless you. And the other thing is hearing people talk in tongues makes me extremely uncomfortable. I believe the Bible's very clear that if you talk in tongues, you should have a translator there. So I don't know why she's doing that. If you ever listen, and it's so interesting when I hear people talk in tongues, like they do the same one every time. It's like, wait a minute, that's not what tongue sounds like. Jeff, have you ever gone to a service where you've heard people talking in tongues, and what was your thoughts?
Hunger, 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 hunger. Sorry, I had to get my spirits out of me real quick. No, but no, and I've been to black churches. My best friend growing up was black, and his grandmother took me in, and we went to Baptist church in Alabama all the time. Nothing like that. Nothing even close. It's crazy that a white lady's doing that. She's trying to. It's funny that she's whitewashed the church because she's trying to make it look like it's some African joke or something there. Who speaks like that? Who talks like that? I don't know. That's just wild.
She definitely did whitewash the church. Greg, when you got to see her preach, what did you think of Paula?
Well, the part that you didn't mention is that they make you stand up and they make you take an oath to her and her husband. That's what I thought was extremely awkward. But what you're talking about with Paula White is prosperity preaching. That's Joel Osteen, that's Creflo Dollar, that's TD Jakes. They tell people, hey, if you give me this much money, you're going to get this in your life. So people give up their life savings. People give up. It's all these videos that went viral of them getting upset with Paula White, too, when they ask for a certain amount of money and if people don't give that money. And that's one of the biggest issues I think most people have with Christianity and church is that it's starting to seem like it's all about money and for the pastor to get rich.
I got one more clip. I'm gonna let the ladies answer because I'm not just gonna be talking about black churches. We're gonna talk about some white churches too. Here we go.
On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders.
So this was a real video from a real church, guys. This was from New Zealand in 2024. It's called Jesus and the Boys. The name of the church is Grace Vineyard Church Easter video parody. So I didn't make that up. This is all really out there. Mia, you had a very, excited reaction about it. If this was at your local church, would this call you to join the congregation and be a 10% tithing member each week, religiously, faithfully, like they want?
Oh, girl, no, I'm cheap like a Jew. Ain't nobody get me into church, girl. I'm cheap like a Jew. Ain't nobody get me into church. I ain't paying nobody to hear somebody speak.
It's tax deductible, though. And I have seen, I'm a giver. I'm a cheerful giver. And I do see it back. So just throwing it out there.
I will say though, it's very interesting. This video is from obviously, 2 years ago. The man had, the white robe with like the red sash, which is interesting because Trump's AI video we saw, his little picture had a white robe and a red sash depicting Jesus. So, I mean, it's just funny how this is all come together now. I will say a little fact. I so badly in the 90s wanted to see Backstreet Boys in concert so badly. It's sad that they ruined it for me. I wanted to see Backstreet Boys so badly. I was like 8 years old, begging my mother to take me to Backstreet Boys, and I was not able to. And she sees this. Mom, I haven't forgiven you.
Kimberly, what about you? I know you go to church each week. What's your thoughts on the video? Would you attend this church?
I just want to follow me up with NSYNC was where it's at. I grew up in one of those prosperity churches. I have like a disgust for mega churches now. I don't tithe. I believe in mutual aid. We need to tax the churches. This is why. This is getting ridiculous. Also, there's no biblical, no verse that says it has to be 10%. If you hear any church say 10% or any percent, you should not do that. That is culty. Speaking of cults, and which I've seen firsthand because I grew up going to the Rock, huge mega church right here in Anaheim. And I've seen Joel Osteen speak. I've seen his wife speak, and I think it's completely antithetical to the teachings of Christ. I think after a church gets to a certain level, a certain amount of people, it needs to start splitting it and setting other smaller churches around. That's what the Bible says. But when they get really big and they start doing these concerts like this, that's not Christ-like at all. And I'm letting you guys right now, if Christ was here, he would not be sitting with those multi-million-dollar mega homes with their pastors and their friggin' yachts. He would not be there. He would be on Skid Row helping the needy. So yeah, this honestly, you didn't have to play the whole thing. Honestly, we got. Oh my God, I can't believe I got myself to sit through that whole thing, out of respect for you. But that is blasphemous. It really is, and I get really passionate about it because I've seen firsthand a lot of horrible things that happen in mega churches, and no, this does not, I don't think, convince anybody to join the church and the teachings of Christ. So.
Well, I had to show you the clip to show how bad it could be.
No,
Poor
yeah,
Trump, he's been hung out to dry for just a picture of him in a red robe. Like, honestly, he's a doctor. So, I had to show it.
He's not a doctor, and there's nothing Christ-like about Trump. He's literally the 7 deadly sins incarnate. So,
anywho, we're going to start with closing thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching, if you haven't already hit the like button, please support Andre, Jeff, and the new party by hitting the like button. Also subscribe. So ladies first. Mia, what's your closing thoughts? You're muted, dear.
My closing thoughts are I'm going to do a shout out to T Pose until WW3 stayed consistently commenting and being a troll. I really love that. I'm so glad you did that. It's going to hit the algorithm. It actually encouraged more people to comment. So thank you. Next time, don't be so cheap and send a super chat. Don't be a cheap bitch.
Yeah, don't be cheap and go follow Mia since you're a fan of Mia's. Make sure you go follow her. Ratchet, thank you for coming. I'm so sorry about today, but you held it down. You came. I love the background. I love what you're doing, girl. What's your closing thoughts to let everybody know where they can find you?
Well, everyone can find me everywhere at the Ratchet Christian on all the platforms. And don't be sorry, you know, I love the new party. I'm always excited to be a guest on the show. My only problem with the last video that you played of the Jesus and the Backstreet Boys was the fact that Jesus was white. We all know Jesus is black. Like, come on. They had one black guy in the video. He could have played Jesus. That's my problem. No, but in all seriousness, it is blasphemous, but it's like, you know what? We take it on the chin, we move on, we know how the story ends. And so I'm a comedian myself. I can laugh at myself. I can laugh when something's funny. What Trump did wasn't funny, but that one was like, well, it was all right. And closing thoughts, I'm just grateful, you know, for this show and that there's a platform where people with different opinions can come and have a productive conversation. I feel like we need to keep doing that. You know, we, the American people, not letting the government tell us what to think, but us getting together and, you know, sharing our opinions. I think that's how things change. So I really enjoy each and every single one of you. I think you're all very intelligent people and I enjoy the conversation that we had. So thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you guys go check out Ratchet. She's hilarious and she gives great Christian content. Kimberly, what's your closing thoughts?
She is hilarious. I like all her stuff. The cynical guy, he said I'm a single cat lady. Bro, I am. I have 2 cats.
Yeah.
My cat just had babies yesterday. So, does anybody want any kittens?
Yeah, put them in a box and send them up here to Detroit. I'll take them.
Okay.
I already have 2 cats. No kittens over here. I'm good. And 2 dogs.
Oh man, this was a great show. I really needed it. I really appreciate all of you and all of your opinions. I love that none of us get emotional or offended. But yeah, I think that political parties and tribalism is culty. And I think it's getting worse, which scares me. You do see a wave of third parties rising up all throughout Europe, and I love to see it, but even they know that it's never going to happen here. Even here in my governor's race, they are using lawfare to try to keep Butch Ware off of the ballot, and they do that all the time with third parties. But I think I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. Third parties only need 5% to receive federal matching funds the following year. That's all we need. We don't need a win. We just need 5%. Pick a third party, 5%. That's the goal. And yeah, be wary of the false prophets because there's a lot of them out there. And have you guys ever seen that meme of that painting of the guy with the cigarette and it says Jesus looking at his followers now? Oh my gosh, honestly, what an insult to Christianity, because if you really just look at just the words of Jesus, they really are so beautiful. And I think that the real message of Jesus is what we need. And sadly, that's not what we're seeing. So all we can do is pray and pray for the world and pray for ourselves and each other. But thanks for having me. It was such a great episode today. Follow me at Kimberly Nell on all social media.
Yes, go give her a follow. Andre, what's your closing thoughts?
You already know what I'm going to say. The Trump pick, it's boring, gay. I don't know why Trump is killing his entire base. He's going to get fucked in the midterms. It's going to be actually wonderful watching the show. I'm not tied to a political party. I don't give a damn about political parties at all. I only care about what's good to my interests, what supports my interests. It's gonna be fun watching this midterm cycle. It's gonna be a great show. We'll see how the war goes. Honestly, that's the more depressing part. The Trump stuff with the Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's honestly that music video was very depressing too to sit back and watch. I don't know how I got through that. It just reminded me like the We are young. That's why I just all I heard. The fucking song, you know what song I'm talking about? We are young, and they played in the fucking club. So I can't stand that song. So it's that level of cringe. But yeah, that's all I really what I got to say. Shout out to the new party and everyone that's been on the panel. You know where to follow me. You know where to find me. There you go.
Thank you, Andre. Andre, what was Ratchet talking about the underbelly? Where's that? I want to find it.
Oh, soft white. You can look up soft white underbelly. We did an interview. I went out to LA, flew out there with Mark, great guy. We did about a 30-minute interview, so it was pretty good. So soft white underbelly. You look up the 4 different types of Black Americans. You'll find my video. I think his video as well. So it's I think it's sitting at 400,000 views right now, both my video and his video. So hey, it's a great thing. I love it.
Oh, great job, Jeff. What's your closing thoughts?
So a few things. I liked what Andre said before about tribalism. While I agree with that, so I want to break it down, talk about the cult and then the blasphemy. So tribalism, I think, is how political parties have historically been. And I think, unfortunately, we're turning toward cultish behavior. For example, I think like LGBTQ and the trans movement is very tribalistic. There's no leader for them, so there's no cult, but it is very tribalistic. And then let's say they get a leader in office or something, that'd be terrible. That'd be a crazy cult. So that's like if some extreme leftists got into office and start pushing those policies. Now, so I still stand firm on saying that I think MAGA has unfortunately developed into a cult. As far as the blasphemy goes, I think Trump took the top spot. The Beyonce and White Woman tied for number 2. And then the Backstreet Disciples, although they're cringe, definitely come in at 3rd surprisingly after all of that. But yeah, I that's my thoughts on everything. I think this was a good pod. Sorry for being a little late. Looking forward to the next one.
Jeff, I got to go to your live. It was so cool. You interacting with your fans, and like I feel like you're getting more, like tonight. I feel like you're a little bit more comfortable on the show, but I really liked your take. So we definitely have to have like a non-political night just about like relationship stuff. Like
that's
so
what I was going to say. If you have me and Andre
doing
doing relationship stuff, I think that would cook.
That's what we're gonna do next week, guys. What do you think, Andre? What do you think about that? Uh-oh.
Fantastic. Sign me up. I'll be there.
Okay, so next Tuesday, guys, the fellas, the ladies will be doing a relationship night. No politics unless something happens with Iran and we can't avoid it. But if we do, it'll be like 10, 15 minutes. Ray, what is your closing thoughts, my friend?
My closing thoughts is don't drink the Kool-Aid. Jonestown is the most known cult ever that came out. So if you feel like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, think back, step back, adjust, and reevaluate whatever situation you're in. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's topic, we'll be talking about Sneeko getting hit while live streaming unless anything changes. Like we always said, a new party, always vote. Oh, and Kimberly put us on. I was on TMZ.
Oh,
today,
sorry.
so that was a big thing. Thank you, Ratchet Christian, for putting that together. So for sure, I was on TMZ. I'll put that on YouTube so you guys can see that.
Well, yes, Ratchet did refer me, but I referred you. So you're welcome. But anyways, thank you to Ratchet Christian for coming. We really, really appreciate her partnership. If you guys are not already following her, please go check her out. I had the pleasure to see her live doing her comedy. Also, thank you to Greg, Kimberly, Andre, Jeff, and Mia for always coming and holding it down. We have a great, great team. So make sure you guys are following everybody. But my closing thoughts is this: the internet has turned outrage into a daily sport. We are offended by something every week. Rinse, repeat, offended, distract, repeat. The viral image posted by Donald Trump depicting himself as a Christ-like form was distasteful. I'm not going to lie. And I understand why it upset some. But guys, if we're being honest, the bigger concern shouldn't just be a controversial image on social media. It should be the actions and rhetoric that comes with him. And we have seen in the last year. Going after the leader of the Catholic Church like the Pope, or encouraging a culture where supporters attack anyone who holds a political figure accountable does far more damage to our political discourse than a meme ever could. Accountability should not be treated like betrayal, guys. I really think that if you're offended by a picture, you should be more offended by him overlooking the fact that we are actively supporting genocides around the world. We watched the genocide for the last 2 years. We look the other way. We're watching one unfolding right now in Lebanon. We're looking away. But instead, we're using our time and our resources to focus on a meme, guys. Really, like, we need to be redirecting ourselves, focusing on the midterms, like Andre said. And outrage should mean something. If we're going to be appalled, let's be appalled about the things that actually affect human lives, not just the things that trend for a day online. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back with the new party team, 9 p.m. as well on Thursday. 8 p.m. as well on Thursday night. Thank you for supporting everyone. God bless. Good night.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls. To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
Our liberty is at hand. For freedom is robbed by. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's work captures the spirit of we fight for independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. You must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, fire me!